callers, and not necessarily those of this station, its staff, management, or sponsors.
Welcome to the Ask the Experts show with local experts in the fields of legal, health, financial, and home improvement. Enjoy being educated in such topics as personal injury law, community association law, family law, bankruptcy law, along with health show topics like pain management, men's health, and dental implants. Now, sit back and enjoy today's Ask the Experts with host Steve-O.
And happy Monday to you. I'm Rhonda Hines, and tonight I'm joined by Phyllis Simon from the Simon Group USA. And we're going to have a great show tonight because Phyllis and her team of experts are here to give us some guidance on wealth management and particularly on long-term care tonight. Unfortunately, her son Daniel couldn't be with us, but she's here to take over the reins and lead us into what we need to be doing with our money. How you doing tonight?
I'm doing great. Just want to let everybody know that was a great Super Bowl, wasn't it all?
Oh, yeah.
We just enjoyed the show. We were happy, even though a lot of people were San Francisco fans. I think they felt good for Kansas City after 50 years finally winning something.
I know quite a few people were pleased with that win.
And those entertainers were just absolutely fantastic. And I enjoyed the show half the time, you know. I just say, another one of these crazies. I think the last time I really enjoyed the show as much as when Maria Osmond unfortunately had that little accident with her outfit. But this show, Jennifer Lopez was just absolutely fabulous. Her kid, Shakira, they were all very good.
Yeah. So I hear you have a seminar coming up.
Yes, I do. We're having our spring seminar on how to protect your assets, along with dealing with Medicare, long-term care, and Social Security. Please call now to reserve your spot in the seminar, as there's limited seating. The seminars will be in Palm Beach County and Broward County. So I'm going to give you a phone number that you can call, 954-599-1950, to reserve your space and get the information you're going to need for the seminar. Again, the number is 954-599-1950. We hope that you'll be able to enjoy listening to the show tonight and join us for that seminar because you're going to learn a lot.
And how many days is it? Is it a day seminar, a couple of hours?
It's going to be a couple of hours. It's going to be in the day, basically late afternoon, early evening, so people that are still working can come. Mm-hmm. All right? We just have two locations that we're waiting to get confirmation and the exact dates. We want to do it after the holiday in April.
Yeah.
Because, and tax time also.
Oh, yeah.
So everybody's head is all muddled with that. So we want to be able to give them the freedom. After that, they get the weight off their shoulders and they could sit down and enjoy the seminar.
Is there a cost to the seminar? Or?
No, there'll be no cost to the seminar. It's going to be free. Refreshments will be served. And we will give them all the information when they call in.
And what type of individuals do you think will be interested in the seminar? Like who are your target audience for people listening out there? And
most people, basically between the ages of 50 and 75, should be listening to this, okay? Because those that are in their 50s to 60, 65 are going to be looking at retirement. Mm-hmm. They need to know that their path to retirement is doing well. They need to know where their Social Security is going to be, what the Medicare rules are going to be, because everything's going to change. But as long as they know what's going to happen and what they need to do. And yes, if they're 50 years old, they're going to forget everything, and within 5 years, they won't remember what they learned 5 years before.
And the laws can change again, right?
Right. However, every few years, if they have sit down with their advisor and they go over things with them to make sure they're on track. One thing that we do with all our clients is, first of all, we talk to them every year. Mm. And the second thing is that we go over their goals, and things change. Sometimes kids leave the house, kids come back.
That's happening a lot more these days, isn't it?
Sometimes
Divorces,
children get divorced and their grandchildren move in with them. And now they were going to sell the house and move, to Tennessee, and now they can't because
they've started all over again, basically.
And it's like basically becoming a mommy and a daddy all over again for the grandchild. And of course, you don't want to leave your grandchild because that their mommy and daddy aren't getting along, or there's a problem there. So we try very hard to just be on top of what's going on.
Do you see that case a lot? A lot of
It's a
divorced
lot.
couples where they're coming back home
It's
and
different. It's very different today. Today, people don't try to keep a relationship the same way that people kept relationships years ago. I mean, divorce was a word that nobody heard in New York 50, 60 years ago. I went to California. It was the most common thing in the world. But New York, it wasn't. You know, I guess there were too many apartment buildings in New York, and the neighbors, they didn't want the neighbors to know what was going on in their life.
California's always been very free.
Right. Hanging out your dirty laundry. Nobody wanted to know that. Those were expressions that my mother used to say. You never hang out your dirty laundry.
So just live miserably.
Right. But I do want to get on the subject of long-term care tonight because it's very near and dear to my heart. And the reason for that is I struggled with my father-in-law. I struggled with my mom in their older ages. My mom, God bless, lived until she was 82, but at the end it was really bad. My father-in-law died just before his 77th birthday, and he was stuck into a nursing home after his wife died because he had something wrong with his leg. And my sister-in-laws couldn't care for him, and he begged us to come to Florida. He only wanted to come to Florida.
Yeah.
And we figured, all right, we'll put him in a nursing home here because he was in one there. And when I took him to my doctor, he said, this guy isn't nursing home material. This guy just needs somebody to come to the house. He needs assistance.
So why don't you define what long-term care is?
Well, long-term care covers a wide range of services. Generally falls into two categories: there's skilled and personal care. Skilled care is provided when recovering from an illness or injury. Like my father-in-law had a terrible injury to his leg. He had a hole
So it's
in
more
his foot.
temporary?
Huh?
Is it more temporary care?
No, it could be permanent too, because it depends. If you have diabetes and you have an injury to your leg, it could take forever to heal.
Okay.
You know.
So
And
skilled
then
versus what kind of care again?
personal care.
Okay.
Personal care helps the client to maintain the activities and function of daily life. So if they can't do activities of daily living, it's a problem.
So you have to, so more than two activities you can't do on your own, you qualify for getting long-term care under personal?
And the benefits, yes. In other words, the two activities of daily living could be...
Getting up and down off the toilet.
Right. Transferring to the sink.
Transferring
Feeding
plates to the sink.
yourself, because just they can't walk, you can't do things. Sometimes people break their legs. People
Getting
break
something out of
their
the
arm.
refrigerator.
There you go. There's two activities of daily living, and we know if you can't bathe yourself, we know you can't dress yourself. So
Right.
those two activities automatically triggers. Okay.
They're givens.
All right, and just like your long-term care basically is like, you know, when you have auto insurance, homeowners, health insurance, long-term care insurance is another way to guard against any risk. Because the risk is what you take. Okay, now you want to keep the risk on yourself or to keep the risk on the insurance company. It allows you to help protect your assets, maintain control by providing you with long-term care alternatives. For many, it may be an economical way to pay for long-term care.
You mean by having the insurance?
Absolutely.
So the insurance is kind of a risk management.
yeah,
you're
it's
managing your
designed.
risk.
It's designed to help pay for services for those who need help with activities of daily living, which are known as ADLs.
Okay.
Those everyday activities of caring for yourself, such as getting dressed, eating, or moving from a bed to a chair. Someone with cognitive impairment, such as Alzheimer's disease or senile dementia, may need constant supervision. You know, they
Right.
could just be sitting there watching television, but somebody has to be on the side because that person can get up.
And walk out the door.
Walk out the door, or go into the kitchen, fill up a pot of water, and put it on the stove,
And burn the
forget
house
about
down.
it. And let me tell you, they forget how to do simple tasks. Simple
Yeah.
tasks is one of the biggest problems, and it scares the daylight out of their children.
Gosh, particularly if you're living in a condo unit beside them, you might be scared. Right?
That's very true. You know, you say, oh, gee, I have this 80-year-old neighbor. She passes by, says hello to me every day, but she doesn't know who I am. and then they just say, who are you? You know, you're very nice, but who are you? I'm your neighbor for 20 years. Oh, I don't remember you. But that's what happens.
It happens, yeah.
And services that are covered for long-term care. 20 years ago, the first long-term care insurance only covered nursing home care for individuals. You
So
could buy,
no at home care?
well, you could buy, they were like separate policies. So you buy one for a nursing home and maybe one for home care for a year or 6 months, and they were really very cheap. Today, there's so many different kinds that I recommend comprehensive, and that you can have care at home and have support from your family, and some even
Would they
offer
pay
some
for
cash
support from your
benefits.
family?
Well,
Like,
you know,
how does-
I'm gonna get to a very important part with the family.
Okay.
All right, which most people don't want to understand. They say, "Oh, my son or daughter will help me." I said, "And tell me truthfully, your son is going to quit working and come and
Exactly.
take care of you?"
'Cause
Then
it's
they
a
think
full-time
about it for a
job.
minute. They think about it for a minute. They go, "No, your daughter-in-law is going to quit her job and come take care of you?" No. Well, my son's a very important doctor, a very important lawyer. You know, they all say, but he has plenty of money. I said, I don't think your son's going to go through $1 million in 5 years and spend that money for your care. And as much as he loves you very much, you got to stop and think and be realistic about these things.
Plus, you don't want to burden your children. You want to plan
Well, the
ahead
children-
and
I always say, which child is changing a diaper? And it's a horrible thing to say,
right.
but it's fact. You see, I'm not the most loved person because I tell the truth.
Right.
I know I'm a good financial advisor. I know I give good advice. People have problems, and I come up with a great solution. The problem is that people don't like to hear the solution all the time. And it's very important that they understand that taking pennies from, they can take just money from distribution from IRAs and things like that
Yeah.
to pay for it. Most of the people don't even use their IRA money to live on. Now, there are those that don't have money.
Right.
And they
Those
may
are
be
the ones
listening
that-
to this show and, well, where am I going to get this kind of money? I don't have this kind of money to pay for long-term care.
And they're older and they're buying it at an older age, so it's going to be more
they-
expensive.
those people will get some sort of help sometime, depending on their income bracket. And Medicare is not going to pay for it. They're only going to give a small percentage, which I'm going to go over in a few minutes.
But let's go back and talk about the different types of care policies, because you were talking about how you recommend a comprehensive, but what are the different branches of long-term care? The
Well,
different,
you have institutional care, that's nursing home. Those
Okay.
are the different branches. You have
which,
home health care.
let's face it, you want to avoid a nursing home at all costs. I think the life expectancy when you go into a nursing home, what is it, 6 months? 6 to 9 months?
No, it could be
It's
2.5 years. It depends. Depends on the person. What's wrong with them?
But
My
just
aunt lived-
overall, I think most people kind of get depressed being in a nursing home.
My
I think
aunt-
they're
Yeah, my aunt lived for 25 years with dementia. She had Alzheimer's. 25 years, went through
in a nursing home.
an assisted living facility. She was scared for Alzheimer's patients.
Okay.
So you sit and talk about how much it was a month. It was $100,000 a year for her to live there. To
wow.
have good care. The
Yeah.
woman, and she had the access. But after the first 15 years, my cousin had to pick up on it. My cousin, luckily, was wealthy enough, but she went through $1 million too. So you went through $2.5 million. It was actually over 25 years. It was $100,000 a year. And I'll tell you honestly, it was sad.
But
It's-
someone living 25 years in assisted living is kind of rare, isn't it?
Well, with Alzheimer's, it depends. There are some people, because she was well provided for, so taken care of.
Yeah.
You know, people that have money like a very certain nice lifestyle. My cousin wanted her mother to stay in that lifestyle that her mother was accustomed to. Now, even though her mother didn't know who she wasn't going to let
Right.
her mother look like a rag and not be dressed nice and not be clean. And she had a nurse that was with her, and they changed nurses all the time. She didn't remember who the last person was.
Right.
But my cousin would go there every day to see her.
Yeah.
which was not far from where she lived. And she was saying, man, you're a very nice lady. You come and visit me, but who are you?
Yeah.
And that was the saddest part because she'd say, oh, Ma, come on, it's me,
Yeah.
It's very sad because there were a lot of things that happened in my aunt's life
Yeah.
that unfortunately that she had no memory of those things
Right.
that happened, which was maybe it was better for her because she had lost a daughter when her daughter was 26 years
Yeah.
old and left a 3-year-old child. I mean, maybe it
Kind
was
of a
better,
gift. It's kind of a gift in a way, right?
that the memories weren't there anymore.
Yeah.
So maybe it was better, But again, long-term care, everybody should have some of it.
And you said institutionalized is one type.
Institutional-
What's the other types?
You can go into assisted living, okay? You can have residential health care facilities. You can have
residential health care
live
is
in
where
your
you're
house.
where you're living in on your own, and you kind of can pull a cord if you need
living.
help.
They
Yeah.
call it assisted living. Independent living means you don't need any help. That means you have your own apartment and a fancy, 5-star development where you go down twice a day for lunch.
Okay.
And breakfast, lunch, or dinner, whichever way you want it.
But there
I
is
would-
some sort of system that that you
They
can ring a
have
bell or get
assisted
some
living
help, right?
facilities where once a doctor says that you need help, okay, then you can move into assisted living facilities, and they have these LVNs or different types of nurses that come in and to help you and spend the day with you, and they try to get you to do activities
Well,
to
how
keep you
often
busy.
are they coming in? About twice a day? Like, what does assisted living look
Well,
like?
you can have somebody come at home and spend the whole day with you.
Mm-hmm.
Remember, you can't cook or clean yourself.
Right.
You can't take care of yourself. You can't go to the bathroom yourself. Somebody's going to be with you all day
Right.
until if you're living at home and then there's family member that comes home and takes over at night.
What about the other categories of types of care that long-term care policies? Are those the only two, or are there more?
Long-term care policies should be sold. No, there's long-term care policies are usually comprehensive. Means it covers you in any setting. Daycare. Let's just say your mother came home to live with you. She's in your house, but she can't be left alone during the day.
Yeah.
And she's okay, but she needs to have some sort of activity, but she can't walk by herself,
Yeah.
and she has difficulty eating by herself. So you send her to a daycare,
Where
a
okay.
facility where she has other people around her, and she makes some friends, but they help feed her, they help her with,
Going to
she's
the
in a
bathroom.
wheelchair, she can't walk, she can't do things. So those policies that pay for daycare too. All right, so you can have somebody be in a daycare facility and then come home at night, and the family takes care of them. It all depends.
What about someone who's injured in a wreck and needs to be in a rehab facility for a very long time? What would that be classified as?
Well, long-term care, they used to sell policies that had lifetime benefits. And back in the day, I sold a lot of them. The insurance companies that had lifetime benefits.
What do you
Then the
mean
companies
lifetime
mean
benefits?
as long as you're sick. If
Oh,
you can
so it
live
would
20
extend the
years,
life of your-
They're going to pay for you to be in an assisted living facility, or they're going to pay for somebody to come to your house to take care of you for the rest of your life.
But they don't sell those policies anymore, or what do you?
Not lifetime benefits, very few, none of them. They're slowly shortening the benefit.
So what
they-
is a typical? What's an average benefit now?
Today, an average benefit policy would be 6 years of benefits paid out. Now, you have to understand something that's very interesting about long-term care. Let's just say you buy a plan that gives you $6,000 a month.
Well, why don't we hold that thought for just 1 second? Let's get into the math of that. But let's give folks your number and your website, and then let's come back and talk again
Okay,
about
it's
how you.
assignmentgroupusa.com, and the phone number is 954-599-1950. And we're talking about long-term care today, and one of the most important things is we are also talking about our seminar. You can call that number 954-599-1950 to set up a reserved spot for yourself for our seminar. And at the end of it could probably be after April 15th. That's what we're gearing for, that spring seminar. We're going to have one in Broward and one in Palm Beach.
Excellent. We're going to go take a short commercial break, and when we come back, we're going to continue talking with Phyllis about long-term care. What is it? When do we need it? And what are we looking at in cost? We'll be back. Good.
Hi, this is Steve O with the Ask the Experts radio show. At the Simon Group, their goal is to actively help families, individuals, and business owners build their financial freedom. They have the skills, knowledge, and experience required to help meet the client's established goals. They understand their clients want a comfortable retirement, but that means different things to different people. And there are other goals that they can emerge along the way, from planning for a child's education to planning for a managing income in retirement. That's why the Simon Group offers a range of financial strategies and solutions to help in every step of the way. They work with you to gain confidence and stay flexible and prepared for your financial future. The Simon Group serves their clients in estate and investment solutions, insurance protection, income, stocks and bonds, retirement investments, and insurance. Contact the Simon Group for a free financial planning appointment today at 954-599-1950. That's 954-599-1950.
And we are back with Phyllis Simon from the Simon Group USA. And I want to encourage anybody who has a long-term care question or a wealth management question for Phyllis to call in our hotline, which is 888-565-1470. But Phyllis, we left off and you were starting to explain like how much long-term care is going to cost us, or how to kind of calculate and plan for that.
Well, first of all, it depends on the person's age. Everybody that buys a policy, it's based on the age and whether they're husband and wife. They're going to buy a joint policy or a single policy. Usually spouses buy joint policies because they get a bigger discount. Okay.
So it covers, so if you're injured at different times, if you need long-term care at different times, of course it covers you. You just buy it together at a cheaper rate.
Right. There are different benefits in those policies. Let's just use an example.
More bang for your buck kind of thing?
Yes, they get a lot of bang for their buck. And so most people don't know the actual cost of long-term care insurance and mistakenly believe it's not affordable. They really think it's not affordable.
Well, I mean, if you get it when you're younger, of course, it's going to be cheaper.
Of course. If he's 50 years old compared to a 65, it's going to be a big difference.
Yeah.
But the premium may vary. The cost of not having long-term care insurance will cost you even more. And many of us underestimate the cost of the services, what it's going to cost, and it could end up depleting our retirement savings and your income.
Healthcare is expensive.
It can be. So how we figure out how much the cost of long-term care is. If you're a husband and wife, okay, you can have what's called shared care. You buy a certain amount of years worth of money. That's exactly what you're buying.
Mm-hmm.
You're buying extra money. And that money's going to be paid out first if, God forbid, you have this situation where you need long-term care. One spouse could be great. The other spouse has a problem. And let's just say, hypothetically, the other spouse passes within 2 years. The surviving spouse can have a policy that's paid up. It doesn't have to make any more payments. These are different benefits in all these types of policies.
So you pay up to a certain period of time and then it stops?
You can. In other words, you can have where you have if one of your partners goes on a waiver because they're very sick, they waive the premium. You can have a spouse's waiver too. And then if one dies, it can have a paid-up policy for the surviving spouse. Different companies offer different benefits, and that's what we try to do. We try to give people the most bang for their bucks and the benefit that they're going to need. So depending on the assets that they have, we try to create a little bit more money for them so they can do this before they break their children, they break their own piggy bank, or they break themselves, because it is expensive. And it's sad, but it's true. People don't work for nothing. All right?
Yeah.
Even a family member gets tired and stressed, they got to give up a job, and even if they're your caretaker and you're willing to pay them some money, it's still stressful for them, and then they need somebody to take over for them when they got to get away from you for a couple of days because it's just too much mentally to handle.
Yeah.
So I had a client that I went to see, her husband was bedridden for 3 years. It was horrid.
Yeah.
She had to quit a job. She went through her money. She had to take out another mortgage on her
care for
house.
him?
It's because she couldn't afford a nursing home.
Oh, and she
Okay,
couldn't go to
and
work anymore.
he had a very rare form of Alzheimer's, but it was rare, and he got it very young. So it was sad.
Like in his 50s?
Late 50s.
Yeah.
And that's young. You know,
That
Rita
is young.
Hayworth. Rita Hayworth, they always thought the actress was a drunk. But actually, she had Alzheimer's. They didn't
Is that
diagnose
right? I
her
didn't know
until
that.
she was older. She was 52 years old when it started.
Wow.
Yeah. And
didn't
they
know
didn't
that.
even know. And then they realized it years later because they did an autopsy of the brain.
Yeah.
And they found, it's amazing today that they could do an autopsy of the brain and they find a lot of aluminum in the brain.
And the metals,
They know right
true.
away all those metals
Yep.
is what caused it.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, people also need to understand the need for long-term care. In other words, when somebody gets sick, where does the money go? You got a hospital. You're under 65, your health insurance covers it. You're over 65, Medicare Part A covers it.
Yeah.
The doctors, under 65, your health insurance covers it. Over 65, your Medicare Part B covers it. Long-term care, under 65, you take care of it.
If you're
Over
under 65?
and over 65, you take care of it. Medicare offers only limited help, covers skilled care only.
So if they go into a skilled nursing facility, not if they come to your home.
They can't even,
Oh.
no, they'll give you skilled nursing at home.
Oh, okay.
So we're going to use skilled nursing. What is skilled nursing? Well, I got a wound.
Okay.
I got a hole in my leg, on my arm.
Is
It's
that-
diabetes from an infection? I have diabetes. Takes longer to heal. So a nurse has to come in and administer medication or an IV or whatever it is that's called skilled.
So is one actually just a nursing assistant on the lower end for personal care, and then you have an actual nurse who comes in for skilled nursing to do the wound care, for example?
Wound care.
But
is a
I'm
skill
asking, is
that's
that the
called
difference?
Skilled.
But the type of person that comes in, is the person different? So is it a nursing assistant on the lower end, and then for more specialized?
no,
Do they
no.
have nurses
No.
actually coming?
Nurses that are what they call long-term care nurses are not on a lower end. There are people that have to know how to take care of an elderly person or somebody that has a form of dementia or has ADL problem. They could be an LVN. They could be a registered nurse. They could be any.
So they are
any-
nurses. They're not
they're
your
nurses.
typical nurse. Because a lot of people have nursing assistants come to the home.
They have to come from a home care agency.
Mm-hmm.
Years ago, they used to have policies which were indemnity policies. You can hire somebody as long as your doctor said you needed it, triggered the payment to you. You got paid X amount of dollars from the insurance company. You hired who you wanted into your house.
Okay.
Today, the insurance companies want skilled people coming in. Why? Because that person will take care of the person better. There won't be a problem where somebody's getting paid for doing nothing.
Yeah.
Okay, so sometimes it triggers in other words, we're going to pay you $100 a day. We'll use that example. We'll give you a $3,000 a month policy, $100 a day, but it actually costs maybe $20 an hour. The person there 8 hours is how much?
Adds up.
$160. That's $60 more than the insurance company is paying. Wait a minute,
Yeah.
my daughter has to work until 9 o'clock. That means I need 3 more hours. Oh my God, that's another $60.
You're paying time and a half, probably, right?
Well, they pay the I don't know how the skilled nursing, but they basically have people that get paid a certain amount of money an hour. Then they have people that live in for the week. So there are all different types of nurses that come in and take care of people. They could be a LVN, but they're registered. They're good caretakers. They're and they come through an agency where they're bonded, so they don't beat your mother and father up, and they don't steal from them and things like
Right.
that. So it's very, very important. Skilled nursing is different. Skilled, they can come to your house for an hour, give you the IV, cover you up with bandages, give you your medication, leave, and it only pays 25% of the cost.
Wow.
So you got to consider different solutions, all right, for long-term care. So you can ask your family
Right.
or friends.
What happens in the case of parents who, let's say, they have a child who's, well, maybe it's a child in college and they get seriously injured, and then for the rest of their life they're going to be bedridden.
For the child's bedridden or the parent's bedridden?
The child, and they don't have a
Same
plan.
problem.
So they get a policy, or at that
Yes,
point it's going to be really
in fact,
expensive?
it's not expensive, but today long-term care companies, most of them bill a child based on if the child's age 40, even though it's an 18-year-old.
Yeah.
A disability, what they call custodial disability, for long-term care is strictly custodial disability.
Okay.
Regular disability is an income where you get paid back because you cannot work because you're sick. And that's usually sold for people that are under 65 that collect on it because they got cancer, God forbid, or they had open heart surgery and they can't work, or there's something wrong
Something
with
happened
them.
and it's...
All right, they had a bad accident and they're paralyzed or whatever. But when you come to long-term care, I think everybody should have it, no matter how old they are, because you never know.
So you would take it out on your children?
True, because you never can tell. This kid is a sports player and gets hit in the back, paralyzed for the rest of his life. I had a situation where, when I first came into the business, it was heartbreaking. Their son became of age. He was 18 years old. And they had a little, like one of those bouncy things in the backyard, a trampoline.
Okay.
But it had a small one.
Yeah.
And he was jumping up and down, and he fell off of it, and he hit his head in the spine.
Oh.
That paralyzed his body for the rest
At
of his
18?
life. He was 18. He tried to break up with the girlfriend because of the fact that he was able to speak. He couldn't move from the neck down.
Right.
His parents took him to every facility in Central and Northern Florida that specialized in that kind of injury.
Yeah.
It broke them. It just broke them. The father, all his retirement money just went down the tube. It was very sad. It does happen.
Yeah.
That's
why it's called an accident. No one it's not
you
something
never
you're expecting.
know.
Yeah.
Right. So long-term care, I did many years ago sell to some clients who had younger children who had this fear. Because the kids were going to college out of town. They had a fear that something might happen to them. And luckily, thank God, nothing happened to them. But they bought the policies, and they're very inexpensive. And they kept them, and they didn't give them up like it's a waste of money. They felt it was a good investment because by the time the child gets old enough, the premiums won't be ridiculous.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
It would be nice if it's one of those plans that if there is such a thing that you pay into it, and if it's not needed, you get some kind of money back, or you can do something else with the money.
Plans. They're called indemnity plans. They do have them. Some companies sell those type of things.
What are you allowed to do with the money if you don't use it for long-term care?
Well, it depends. If you go into a hospital, you hear about these hospital plans. If you get sick, they call critical illness, or you're in the hospital for more than 3 days, they're going to give you $50 a day for each day you're in the hospital. They have all kinds of insurance companies that do that. And that sometimes is a good thing if it's inexpensive enough. But, if you have a policy for 10 years and never used it, you hate to give them up because you feel that if the day I give it up,
is when I'm going to have an
accident.
accident.
End up in the hospital, right?
Give folks your phone number and your website again.
Okay, it's the SimonGroupUSA.com, and my number is 954-599-1950. I'm going to remind you again about the seminar in April. Again, call 954-599-1950 to schedule a reserved spot for yourself.
We're going to go take a short commercial break, and when we come back, we're going to continue to talk about long-term care, and we'll be back after the short break. So,
Hi, this is Steve O with the Ask the Experts radio show. At the Simon Group, their goal is to actively help families, individuals, and business owners build their financial freedom. They have the skills, knowledge, and experience required to help meet the client's established goals. They understand their clients want a comfortable retirement, but that means different things to different people. And there are other goals that they can emerge along the way, from planning for a child's education to planning for a managing income in retirement. That's why the Simon Group offers a range of financial strategies and solutions to help in every step of the way. They work with you to gain confidence and stay flexible and prepared for your financial future. The Simon Group serves their clients in estate and investment solutions, insurance protection, income, stocks and bonds, retirement investments, and insurance. Contact the Simon Group for a free financial planning appointment today at 954-599-1950. That's 954-599-1950.
You are listening to the Ask the Experts show with host Steve-O. We will be right back with more experts in the field of legal, health, financial, and home improvement. Join us every Thursday from 5 to 6 p.m. Now, get ready for more Ask the Experts.
That's scary.
And we are back with Phyllis Simon, our expert in wealth management. And we left off talking about having a need for long-term care. What are the types of needs that would prompt us to get it? But what are some of the solutions? What are some avenues that we can explore that'll help us determine, what types of policies we're going to need and how to prepare for the unexpected?
Well, first of all, solutions people come up with, they can ask their family or friends. But first you got to consider the demand on their lives. Because your family, they're going to give up jobs. Your friends, come on. Their friends will love you to death, but please.
But nobody wants to change your diaper.
They don't want to change your diaper.
They're going to come. They're going to go running when it comes to that. Huh?
Absolutely. You can rely on Medicaid, but you got to consider the strict financial limitations of the program. Medicaid has a limitation on one asset you have, and they primarily focus on.
Did you say
nursing
it's
homes.
based on your assets? Is that what you said?
Yeah, you got to spend down all your assets before you can get to Medicaid.
So you have to be poor and broke.
That's right.
Before Medicare is going to help you.
That's right.
Okay, got it.
Okay. You can remain self-insured, but consider the risks you take to your standard of living. In other words, you're spending all your assets to somebody to take care of you, but you still have to maintain the standard of living in your home that you live in. Or you could transfer the risk to the insurance company, and the insurance company will pay the bill. And that's a smart way because it's a discount on dollars. You're buying money for a very low amount of money. And people should understand that. The other thing is they got to plan for the cost. All right. And there's different ways you can pay premiums. You can take it from your IRA, your required minimum distribution, depending on what it costs. I mean, everybody, getting some is better than a whole lot of nothing. There's an expression, isn't something better than a whole lot of nothing? And I feel that way. It's always having a little bit of something is better than a whole lot of nothing. Because a whole lot of nothing is going to give me nothing.
Right.
Where something is going to give me something.
You're covered a little bit.
You have to just use common sense when it comes to this. So somebody says to me, oh, well, I'm getting a great return on my money. So you got $1 million, and you're getting 5%. That's $50,000 a year, and you're using it. You're using part of that money now to live on. So you get sick, and you're going to be home, and you're not going to be running out and spending that much money anymore. However, it's going to cost you more than $50,000 for somebody to come in and take care of you.
For sure.
All right. Your other monies, maybe your fixed expenses are covered from your Social Security and pension, but that $50,000 is going to go real fast.
Well, how do you plan? Let's say you buy that policy earlier. Maybe you buy it in your 30s, and you're projecting for when you'll need it in your 70s,
well, I
80s.
recommend age 50 and up, really, for long-term care. I recommend once you hit 50, you should be planning so you understand that when you get to retirement, what your basic debts are going to be, what your fixed debts are. When I talk about fixed debts, I mean your electric, your telephone, your car payment. And people say, oh, I'm not going to have a car payment. My car's going to be paid up. Come on. Human nature, every 4 or 5 years, you're going to be looking for another car. Because nobody wants to ride around in a 12-year-old car anymore.
Right. I was in my 20s. I had a financial planner, and they recommended that I have a long-term care policy. Now, I was a competitive boxer, so maybe that's why he felt like I should have something in case there was an accident.
Well, that's a smart idea when you were very young and bought it, because in case you got sick and couldn't take care of yourself, or you didn't want your mom and dad or your siblings to have to take care of you, that you had the wherewithal to get some extra money to take
I think I
for it.
kept it 3 or 4 years, and then I just felt like
Yeah,
I
but you
didn't
got
need
rid
it.
of it because you said, what do I need it for? I'm only in my 20s.
Yeah, I didn't feel I needed
What's
it.
the chance of dying are greater than my chance of getting sick? Not true. Chances of getting sick are greater than your chances of dying in your 20s.
Oh, in your 20s, your chance of getting sick is higher.
When you're young, the chances of becoming disabled are greater than the chances of dying. Unless, God forbid, you have some incurable disease.
Right.
But the point is, the disability, see, dying is a guarantee it's going to happen. We just don't know when.
Right.
Disability, there's a 1 in 3 chance.
Death and taxes, right?
Right, so we don't know. You know what I'm saying? Long-term care, maybe 1 in 5. There's a chance.
That you'll need it.
Every single senior citizen is going to need even, and 50 and up is considered senior citizen.
Still.
Because
I thought they were changing the standards on that a little bit.
Well, there's some things that have just changed this year. The new RMD requirements, the required minimum distributions from your IRAs,
The Secure
are going to
Act.
go up to 72. So that means the people born after 1949 get a little bit of a break. They don't have to pull money at 70 and a half. But think about it for a minute. How long is it going to be before you're 70? How long is it going to be before you're 65? You want to buy a policy that'll be inexpensive enough that you can afford it. During your retirement years, that's number one. You want to buy benefits, enough benefits to say, if I have to fund it with an extra $1,000 of my own money every month, I can deal with that. So if you bought a policy that's going to give you $4,000 in benefits, and you have to pay out $5,000 a month, you can deal with it because you can afford the benefits of $4,000. You can't afford the benefits of $5,000.
Yeah.
But if I take a distribution from my retirement and from my pension or whatever I have, and I take a distribution of $1,000 a month, I could do it on my own and still have my overhead covered by my Social Security, my pension money, or whatever, to be able to sustain living in my home. Nobody wants to go to a nursing home. There isn't a nursing home that is fabulous enough for somebody to want to stay in.
I agree with you on that.
You know, I mean, I've visited quite a few, and let me tell you something.
But as you said earlier, life expectancy is also about, what, 2.5 years, you said, after you go to a nursing home? I hear it goes down because it's just, you know,
We have
not
young,
a place most people want to go to. They would rather stay in the comfort of their own home with some
course.
care.
Of course. And here's another thing. Today, women in their 40s are having kids.
Yeah,
Think
sure.
about it for a minute. You're 20-year-old. You're 65. Your 30-year-old is starting her family. You're 75. And you're having a problem. You're having memory problems, or you're sick, or you break your hip, or whatever
Yeah.
it is. And you got a 30-year-old with a baby in her arm.
Who's not going to be able to take care of you
You got it. That's
because she has her own
exactly it.
family.
That's exactly it. So we try to plan for the course, and we come up with maybe a little bit from their savings, and they take a small distribution from their savings to be able to pay for the premium in the policy without harming their income and their standard of living. They'll be great. They'll be fine.
Do you factor in inflation, which
Yes,
God only knows
yes,
what that's going to be
yes.
like in a few years?
Unfortunately, some policies and the inflation riders are ridiculously double cost of them. So what I factor in, I've learned this 30 years ago. I factor in a higher amount of a benefit if the person is young. So instead of giving them $100 a day, I might give them $300 a day. So by the time they get to this age, that amount of money a month is going to be more than enough for them, and it'll
So you
be
triple
fine.
it?
I triple it sometimes, yes, depending on their age and affordability.
So the younger they come to you, the more you factor in, maybe triple that cost.
Yes, I factor in a higher amount to be
Right.
paid out because the cost of living rider, they're 3 and 5%. 3% takes 24 years to double.
Yeah.
5% takes maybe 17, 18 years. It's not enough. And then they doubled the premiums to say, wait a minute. Some people, in their mind think if I took the extra money and I invested it, maybe it'll build up more money for me. So what I do is I factor in and say, listen, let's get a policy that'll give you X amount of dollars a month as opposed to the cost of living rider, because they have what they call partnership programs. And the partnership programs allow for your spouse to keep the assets up to the amount of money that you bought, as long as you have the cost of living rider. But the cost of living rider doubles the premium payment. So if something that would be $3,000 a year will end up being $6,000 a year, which is insane because nobody
Yeah.
wants to spend $500 a month on long-term care.
No.
Especially for somebody in their 60s, in their early 60s, that need and alone and need to have it. They don't want
Yeah.
to spend that kind of money. So you try to give them a higher benefit at a lower price, and it works. It really does. It's just programming them properly, that's all.
Yeah.
But the key thing is, you can give them different plans. You can make a plan A for $100 a day, plan B for $200 a day, plan C for $300 a day.
I'm curious.
But it's tailored to their needs.
I'm curious, under socialized medicine in other countries, do they cover this long-term care? Like someone to come to your home and take care of you? Like Canada, for instance, and their socialized medicine system. How is long-term care?
Okay, this is going to be a very, very tricky spot, okay? Socialized medicine doesn't have the money to pay for long-term care. Medicare has a 5-year wait. If you're on Medicaid and you're very poor and you need help, they're going to take you in a nursing home. It's the only place they can put you,
Okay.
all right? So then people also don't understand that Medicare has lifetime days. There's only a maximum amount of lifetime days you can use. And then
you're
you
on
use
your
them
own.
up, and you're on your own. So if you have no money, Medicaid will pick up, as long as the state has a good Medicaid program.
So if you're in a state with a poor one, you're just
Take a
kind of out of luck.
I got exactly. You have a couple. Let's just say a husband and wife have $500,000. That's from his retirement fund.
Yeah.
Okay, and now he develops a problem. They'll let the wife keep $100,000 and maybe a little more than that, and he's got to spend down all the other money.
Wow.
So, wait a minute. 'Cause
Why would I
they
wanna do
wanna
that?
Put him on Medicaid. Sorry, we have a 5-year look-back rule.
If he was smart, he would just transfer that money to somebody
Yeah,
else.
you can't. You can't, though, because they have a 5-year look-back rule, So
Yeah.
that's where the problem is. It happened to my own cousin. She didn't think.
Yeah.
She didn't realize. How dare they? They wanted me to use up all the money before they'll kick in and pay for him. Now I got to pay for him in a nursing home.
Crazy.
And then she would say, I wish he was,
Yeah.
not around anymore, which was a horrible thing for her to say, but
That's
he
how
had
it
a
works.
stroke, and he couldn't move, and he couldn't do anything. Eventually, he was going to die, and he did. But they went through $460,000 worth of money, and she only had $40,000 left.
Wow.
And she was one pissed off lady.
Bet she was.
Absolutely.
Give folks the reminder about your seminar and your contact info again before we hit the
in
commercial.
April, we're going to have a seminar on long-term care. We're going to talk about Medicare. We're going to talk about Social Security. We're going to talk about long-term care. And the seminar we're going to have one in Broward County and one in Palm Beach County. The phone number to call is 954-599-1950. And we are the Simon Group, and we're at www.thesimongroupusa.com.
And we will be back after this short commercial break, and we're going to continue our discussion about long-term care with Phyllis Simon. Okay, so...
Hi, this is Steve O with the Ask the Experts radio show. At the Simon Group, their goal is to actively help families, individuals, and business owners build their financial freedom. They have the skills, knowledge, and experience required to help meet the client's established goals. They understand their clients want a comfortable retirement, but that means different things to different people. And there are other goals that they can emerge along the way, from planning for a child's education to planning for a managing income in retirement. That's why the Simon Group offers a range of financial strategies and solutions to help in every step of the way. They work with you to gain confidence and stay flexible and prepared for your financial future. The Simon Group serves their clients in estate and investment solutions, insurance protection, income, stocks and bonds, retirement investments, and insurance. Contact the Simon Group for a free financial planning appointment today at 954-599-1950. That's 954-599-1950.
And we are back with Phyllis Simon. You know, Phyllis, we throw around this term a lot, wealth management, but why don't you explain to folks listening what that really is?
Wealth management is a sense of helping you build your money, helping you build enough assets so that you have money to live on in your retirement, and also during the time that you're working, because there are some people that don't know how to budget themselves properly. People don't know how to, they want everything. Everybody wants a fancy new car, the fancy big house. Everybody
Or if they have an
wants it.
accident.
Uh-huh.
I mean, there's that
and
situation
so
too.
what we do is we do risk management with wealth management, meaning is that we have insurances that cover the risks in case you get sick, in case somebody dies, to protect the family that's there that needs to make sure they have enough money to live because your income just stopped. So wealth management helps build up more money, and we insure the risk. And risk management basically is using insurance to cover the risk that you might die, you might get sick, different things could happen.
And if you're single and you die, not a big deal. But if you leave behind a family, bigger deal.
That's
You
a
need to
big
protect
deal.
those folks.
I've watched families that lived in magnificent homes have to move out into a two-bedroom apartment, and they couldn't even afford the rent of $1,500 a month because there was no insurance.
Yeah.
Because I'm too young to buy insurance. Once you have a marriage,
And
you buy
family.
a policy. Once you buy a house, you buy a policy. Once you have a kid, you have a policy. You upgrade yourself as time goes on. What type of insurance? Depends on your budget. Depends on what's the best thing. You can build up wealth. You can build up wealth through investments, through insurance, but you always protect those areas with the insurance because the building wealth, having insurance allows you to build wealth without worrying about something might happen to you, whether you get sick or you die.
And what's the tips that you give folks for making your money outlive you? Because you want to make sure that your money is still
The
going to
most
be
important
enough.
thing is we help people grow their money to a certain level that they feel they have enough. But nobody ever has enough.
Or ever feels like they have enough because
Exactly.
no one wants to feel like they're so budgeted that they can't live and enjoy
But
retirement.
We try to make sure people have no debt when they get ready to retire.
So all the debt's wiped clean.
We go over their goals and aspirations, what they want to do. They've worked very hard saving their money. Mm-hmm. So what we try to do is come up with a figure that is comfortable for them to live on and enjoy their lifestyle, and that we try to get them a rate of return so they can enjoy that lifestyle where their money, they're living off of interest of principal as opposed to using up the principal.
Are you finding that a lot of folks are heavily in debt these days?
Oh, yeah, especially your 45 to 60-year-olds.
And why is that?
It's an old expression. Years ago, my mother used to say, oh, they're trying to keep up with the Joneses. Mm-hmm. And that was a very old expression where people want what other people have. In a capitalistic society, everybody achieves a strive to get as much as they can, by working hard and making money. In a socialistic society, they want to take whatever you worked hard for and keep it for themselves. And they feel that you should share. Well, I believe in the capitalistic society, and I believe that helping people save enough money because they worked hard, invest enough money because they worked hard, that they're going to have the money when they need it so they don't outlive it. And they could pass it on, because the worst thing to do is be broke when you're 85 years old and you don't have money for food.
You bet. And you can't, pay your bills, and you leave your kids with your debt, right? Because
And your
someone's going
kids.
to...
And sometimes, God forbid, you can outlive your kids. And there are people whose children have died before them, and there's nothing. I mean, it's a terrible thing to say, and it's a terrible thing to happen, but it does happen.
But it's reality.
And that's right.
Remind folks about your seminar again. I think it's beneficial.
Okay, we're going to do it one more time. My seminar is going to be in April. We're going to have one in Broward County and one in Palm Beach County. The phone number to call to reserve your spot is 954-599-1950. You can also look us up on the web at www.thesimongroupusa.com.
And for those of you who didn't hear her earlier, the seminar is free, and it's beneficial for those 50 and older who really need to know, what to do in terms of Medicare and long-term savings. Well, I've enjoyed having you tonight, and thank you for coming in and educating us on
Thank
long-term
you.
care. Really appreciate it.
Thank
And
you.
happy
Have-
Thursday to everyone, and have a great drive home.
Happy Monday. Thank you.
Or Monday, yeah, Monday. I keep
Bye.
thinking it's Thursday. Did I say Thursday?
Yeah, you did.
Thanks for listening to the Ask the Expert Show, featuring interviews with local experts in the fields of legal, health, financial, and home improvement. Call our office at 888-574-6999 to become one of our experts on the show. And tune in again next week for more Ask the Experts with Steve-O.